I said, do you want to be the Randy John that tell the truth, the Randy John that cares about? Because I know you are.
Detectives press a 14-year-old boy for the truth in front of his grandmother as they question him about whether he sexually assaulted a 91-year-old woman.
She deserves the truth to be told when you know it.
Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. This is a really disturbing case. Last June, Jesse Stone, he was a 14-year-old boy in Reddick, Florida, who was living with his grandparents and going to summer school. Now he's likely going to prison for a very long time. Body camera footage from the early morning hours of June 9th, 2024 shows Marion County Sheriff's deputies at a 91-year-old woman's home after she'd called to say she'd been sexually assaulted.
Okay, I'm up here in Reddick. I'm at a house. A 91-year-old lady calls in saying she was just raped. We get on scene.
Imagine being 91 years old. Like, that shit wild. Like, you made it through your whole life and some shit like this happens.
She's beat up really bad.
Now, it was late at night, and this was a terrifying, terrifying call. Who would do this to a 91-year-old woman? Deputies started walking the property looking for clues or someone possibly hiding. Others started securing the crime scene.
But we'll just get some tape. We'll lock down the house. Once she shoots out, we'll wrap it up. Okay. It's our crime scene. I got evidence coming, major crimes coming. K9's coming, one's coming.
Who do you want to go with her to the hospital?
I don't care, as long as someone goes. I mean, if you talk to her, that's fine. If being it's a female, maybe Alyssa can go a little bit more comfortable.
There was that lady's moved out of the way, right?
The one that was with the phone.
Yeah.
Hey, have the neighbor with the phone step out of our way.
But it came down now.
Now, this is a very, very serious case, so it was all hands on deck. The rest of the neighborhood could be in danger with a rapist on the loose.
So she saw a shadow approaching her, and all of a sudden he just started like wailing on her. She's significantly injured in her face and got a big gash on her arm.
Crazy.
She's 91 years old. So she says that the guy sounded Hispanic and he was telling her to be still and penetrated her with his fingers. And she said that he felt like he was not erect, but maybe trying to be. She said it lasted about 15,
That's her?
Yeah.
Yeah, she says he never took off his pants.
She said he never took off his pants and it lasted about 15-20 minutes, and he left about 5 to 10 minutes prior to us going 97.
Now, 97 is part of a police code, meaning that deputies have arrived at a call. Collecting and preserving evidence is, of course, going to be very important in this case, and it appears plenty of evidence was left behind by the perp.
I'm sorry, I didn't know evidence was coming out. I gave Christian the dress and the underpants, 2 separate bags.
That's fine.
There's no, anywhere, like when you walk around the house, no evidence of like her falling or anything, so everything she's saying is adding up. Everything is on her bed. Blood everywhere on her bed.
The neighbor said that only Hispanics that she knows is right across this road right here on this side.
Police are looking for a suspect and evidence, but they also want to know whether any of the neighbors saw anything.
Not obviously. Hey, did you see anybody run through here or anything?
Not to my yard, but then again, I went in the house at 9:30 to eat dinner.
Okay.
And came back out with my son and said he saw all the cars coming up here.
Okay.
And I was sitting there for a minute.
Your son live here too?
Don't tell me it's your son.
Yeah, my son lives here. My daughter and son-in-law are down here from West Virginia on vacation.
Okay.
There was a car earlier that came up there, like, well, it's still daylight out there, but I think that was one of her friends.
Okay. I think
it looked familiar, like I've seen the car before.
Okay.
But nobody's been in my yard because I got dogs out and stuff.
Right. Okay.
She okay?
I hope.
I mean, I've known this lady since I was 10 years old.
Okay. I mean, it appears somebody was over there messing with the house. So.
That lady's daughters wanted her to move so many times out of here too. She kept saying no, no, no.
All right.
Later that day, deputies talked to more neighbors.
I was out in the back working in my shop. I guess when all this was going down, I never heard nobody yell or anything. That's what was weird.
During the night?
Yeah, last night.
I didn't come in till 9:30.
Is this motherfucker meditating? Look like he floating right now.
Came back outside, and then my son said all these lights going up the road. That's when I came back out and talked to you.
Did the deputies talk to you last
So I
night?
gave them my name and stuff. Yeah, they just said, "Did you see anything?" I said, "No, I didn't see nothing." And they can't come through my yard because them two are out.
Sure.
Unless they jump fences. So.
Okay. You guys have video surveillance?
No, I got a set, but I don't have them up there. I'm crippled, so I've been trying to.
What the victim told police was
Or the same
absolutely
dude.
terrifying. According to court documents, the woman said when the defendant jumped or pounced on top of her, she began to fight him by trying to push him off. Then he struck her face with his fists. Now keep in mind, as I told you, this is a 91-year-old woman laying in her bed in her own home. She told detectives she told the attacker to get off of her. Then she repeatedly prayed, "Dear God, please help me." And the defendant told her to shut up, shut up. Next, the victim said her underwear was torn off and she ended up face down and she was sexually assaulted. But then it stopped and the man left. During the investigation, detectives had encountered a 14-year-old boy named Jesse Stone in the neighborhood. They noticed a red stain on his clothes and asked to get a swab. His grandmother consented to that and him giving a DNA sample. Then 8 days after the sexual assault, detectives received the results that showed that Jesse Stone's DNA was left on the 91-year-old victim. They brought Jesse Stone into the sheriff's office in handcuffs. They sat him in a room by himself for quite a while.
It looks like this some country shit though, right? Like this not a regular neighborhood or something.
You doing all right? You need anything? All right, Jesse, I'm Ryan, and we're gonna come in here and talk to you just a little bit, okay? We're waiting for your mom to get over here, just so we can all be here and talk and figure out what's going on, all right? Okay. You sure you don't want water or anything? Okay. If you need something, just give this door a little knock, all right?
Yeah, 14, you know what
Jesse
you're
is in
doing.
this room for more than 2 hours, and eventually they give him a blanket. It was likely very cold in that room with the AC on. It is Florida in June, after all.
What's in
They
Florida?
move Jesse Stone later to an interview room, and his grandma, who's raising him, shows up.
Jesse, I'm going to ask you some questions. It might seem a little bit weird, but this is just to help me understand and to make sure that I'm on the same page as you. So, do you understand the difference between a truth and a lie?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me what the truth means to you.
The truth is what actually happened.
Okay. And what's a lie mean?
Something that's made up or not true.
Okay.
The detectives read Jesse his rights, and they ask him about being out in the neighborhood the night that the woman was assaulted.
Do you remember that night? So when I showed you that video of you walking, so that would have been late Saturday night.
Yes.
Do you remember everything that you did that night?
Yeah, I couldn't go to sleep, so I got up and I headed down the road to watch the cars that are coming from the concert. I've watched them, the cars looking for modified vehicles for a while, and then I went walking across the street for, I'm guessing, an hour before I came back to my house.
So you heard there that the detectives had seen Jesse Stone on video in the neighborhood. They'd also met him in the neighborhood. Then Jesse Stone talked about seeing the victim hours before she was attacked. It was something the victim had already told the detectives, that the boy she knew as Randy John had stopped by.
Where was she at?
On the front porch, sitting in her rocking chair in front of the door.
Okay, gotcha. So what was the last time, like, before then, when you had seen her, or I guess talked with her, like, kind of like you did that day?
The last time I'd seen her before that was probably about, I want to say a week and a half before. She was driving down the road from like church or something.
Oh, okay.
And she just stopped and said hi real quick. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so he knows
And then, do you remember the last time, like, my understanding when we spoke the first time, and correct me if I got this wrong, that you, when you were younger, you used to go over and talk with her quite a bit.
I'd go over, talk, help her.
The detectives then asked Jesse Stone whether he had ever been in certain parts of the victim's home, and this leads to their big gotcha.
It's starting to make sense now. So he already knew her. Probably knew she was a vulnerable target.
A moment in this long exchange.
So she's never asked for your help to do those types of like household chores, so like laundry or whatever. Okay.
No, I've helped with the laundry machine, but not to do laundry.
Not like you've never done her laundry for her or bed sheets or anything like that.
No.
You've never like taken a nap or slept in any of her bedrooms or anything like that.
No.
Okay. Do you remember if you've ever been in any of those bedrooms?
No.
No.
No. I've never been in any room other than the living room, kitchen, the bathroom.
Okay. Well, Randy Dunn, I think you probably know that I wouldn't ask that question unless I had a reason to.
Okay.
So, I'm just going to be honest with you because, I mean, I feel like you've been mostly honest with me. And I know your mom's been honest with me. Is it okay if I call you his mom?
Yeah.
Brownie? Okay, I don't mean to.
It's okay, yeah.
But when I came over to you on, I think that was Sunday, and I was asking you about your clothes and the video and such, and I explained that I wanted to get your DNA because I knew that you had been over there before because you mentioned, like you told us today, that you had talked with her. So I knew that you're, at the very least, there would be evidence of you being in the porch.
Yeah.
Right? So I went and met with your mom, and you guys signed a consent form, and we got your DNA. Okay. So we sent your DNA and the sex kit up to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, who does the testing and stuff for stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay, is there any reason at all that your DNA would be on her clothes?
Yeah, we when I said goodbye to her, we hugged, like a side hug.
Okay.
That's...
Let me be a little bit more specific. Your DNA was on her underwear.
What?
And so I want you to really use this time here to be honest with me about what happened that night, because I think that we know what happened, and I think that your mom knows what happened because she also wrote down a list of times that you went in and out of the house that night, to include the time that the call came in.
Crazy.
And I think you probably know that you wouldn't be in here unless...
What's your opinion on like how long bro should go to, you know what I'm saying? Because he is young, but at the same time it's like this so out of the ordinary, so it's like, I don't know. And he probably not saying nothing because his grandma right there, but if he was by himself,
we had a good reason to put you in.
Might be different. Can't be though because he's too young.
What?
It's not about C-rating, John. It's truth.
Yeah, truth. It's impossible for my DNA to be on her underwear.
That's what we like to think too, brother, but that stuff doesn't lie, that stuff doesn't get made up. And sometimes the truth can be hard. You seem like a really good guy, man. You seem like you got a good head on your shoulders, you can make connections with people that need help, you go out there and help other people. And there's people out there sometimes that make mistakes.
I'm gonna come over here and I want to make sure.
That doesn't make you a bad person for making a mistake.
The detective then lays out photos of the victim, showing Jesse Stone what had been done to her.
Well, we just need to understand, like, who is Randy John, man?
Photos is insane.
I don't... And we don't think that was the intention. But we need to understand what happened, man.
Randy, I want to be real clear with you. We know what happened. What I want to hear from your own words, everything that went on that night.
God! Holy cow!
I want to know why this happened.
Grandma being a grandma.
Randy, help us understand, man.
So they're talking about holy cow. Bro hasn't said one word.
Ready?
No, Carol.
Ready? Look at me for a second. You did this exact same thing when I asked you about you walking down the road or jogging down the road at 11 o'clock. And you did the whole, I don't remember, and I was like, and you finally admitted to it. And I think this is the exact same thing. I know what happened. And it's only going to help you for you to be honest with me about what happened. Because like I said, we know what happened because we have your DNA at the crime scene.
Like you said, it's not like we're talking about a sweater that it was found on. It's in this elderly woman's underwear. What do you think, man? We're putting everything out here, and you're kind of just looking at all this, man. I know it might be a shock, but what do you think?
I'm overly confused.
What are you confused about?
I wasn't even near her house. I was across the street.
A whole hour. You were gone.
Yeah. I said I was gone for about an hour.
The detectives leave the room, and Randy John is left with his grandmother.
Mom, I don't know if you want to have a
No,
couple
we can
minutes to talk
confess
with
now.
your son. Randy, I want you to think real long and hard about everything that happened. And I want to do this, listen, more than I want to have the truth from you about what happened, because I know that you know what happened, I want to do this for her. If she is as an amazing of a person as you say she is, and I believe you because I've talked with her, getting all of this out in the open for her is what matters.
She deserves the truth to be told, and you know it. Personally, I
scratching
can't
his head.
believe that this is a horrible thing with you, John. That's a horrible thing.
I don't even have the ability to do that.
Well, it's hard for me to believe too. It's really hard for me to believe too that you would do a thing like this.
I didn't.
But how many times have you been caught in lies?
I know.
And this is the whole reason why you're on restriction. It's because you're not telling the truth about things. If this woman deserves to have the truth, she deserves it, and you know that.
What?
And don't say why's, Ready John, because why doesn't exist here.
I'm confused as to what grandma's description is. She just said it was a Hispanic or something.
I wasn't at her house.
Ready John,
Like, did she not see? Did he have a mask on or something?
Look at her. Look at her face. That's
I don't even think like that.
I've never seen you hurt anybody, but
I don't want to hurt.
what the hell are you doing outside at that time of night? It doesn't make any sense. Do you understand? Ready, John, it doesn't make any sense. There's a million different things you can do. Being outside where you don't belong, and you know you don't belong out there.
I'm sorry, but I'm an outdoorsy person.
You're not an outdoorsy person. You're a sit in front of the TV kind of guy.
When I don't have TV, I'm outside.
Well, I don't know. I hope and pray you did not do this to this
I
woman.
didn't.
I hope and pray. I hope and pray you did not do this.
Still got him either way.
Because this is horrific. This is a human being. And she deserves justice. She does. If this would have happened to your sister, what would you do?
Murder whoever did.
If you know anything about this, Randy John, for her at least, if you care about her, tell the truth. Tell the truth.
You know,
We've been down that road before where you've been lying about something. You swear up and Randy John, you've lied about stuff before.
Jesse's grandmother leaves the room, and the detectives do most of the talking.
When I just got done talking to your mom, and she said that, I mean, you're 14, right? I think every 14-year-old's had some thoughts about what a woman's like and things like that. And I heard that you've been kind of exploring some nudity and pornography. Is that what's going on, man? The thing is, Grandma's got no reason to lie to me, and you have no reason to lie to me about that either. That's totally normal and totally fine. So is that something I heard you taking Grandpa's phone and taking a look at that?
No, I don't do it on Grandpa's phone. I haven't been able to do it since I had my computer, because she takes everything away.
Yeah. Well, is it true that you were looking at some of that stuff? Like I said, it's totally normal, man. Okay. And like I said, and I think like Detective Hardigan said, it's totally normal to want to find out about these things, especially for someone. It seems like you really truly cared about this woman.
Yeah.
And maybe you just wanted to figure out what was what, man.
What it was like. Maybe you went into there, you didn't expect for her to be awake. And so you freaked out. And you panicked. Because that's what it looks like. Is that this was oh shit. And then maybe you just locked around not expecting her to, maybe you just wanted to knock her out. You didn't think you would hurt her this bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got out of there.
Because what we're trying to figure out, Randy John, is like Detective Hardigan said, like we're pretty certain of what happened. What we're trying to figure out is Randy John the kind of guy that breaks into people's houses with axes and chops them up into pieces and leaves them and murders them? Or did Randy John just make a mistake? Did he go into a house and expect this 91-year-old woman to be sleeping and maybe figure out something about life, and then things just went awry? Because the thing is, people panic, man. And people do things that they don't mean and they don't want to do when they panic.
So the detectives, as you saw there, tried to make Jesse Stone feel comfortable, like he just made a mistake.
A good guy.
So he would open up to them. Eventually, he confesses, saying that he watched pornography on the victim's iPad and then went into her room and assaulted her. His confession is redacted under Florida law, so you won't be able to hear it.
Honestly, Randy John, I feel like you probably wished that this had never happened. Like, I honestly still believe that you never really intended to hurt. Because you care about her.
Yeah, I don't intend to.
The thing is, like, yeah, it's not normal, but like, you don't even know if it's like it was intentional. Like, obviously it was intentional. That's not what I'm trying to say. Obviously you shouldn't do this shit, but the fact that bro is going through puberty and watching, you know, apparently they said, which I don't know why they can't show the confession if she just told us, which don't make no sense, but she's saying that he was watching on her iPad, probably got thoughts in his head, trying to explore shit. Like, obviously no regular person's gonna do that though, but it just like makes you think, like bro said, if he's like a murderer, or, you know what I'm saying, or if he was just in the heat of the moment. And
the male detective and Jesse Stone talk extensively about him watching pornography, and Jesse talks very openly and freely about it.
You mind if I give you some more stuff? Sure. So, how old were you when you started watching the porn videos?
My friend showed them to me when I was 10.
10? So you've been watching them since you were 10?
Off and on, yeah.
Okay. How often do you think you were watching them before you got put on restriction?
Once or twice a week.
Okay. And what kind of stuff were you watching? Looking at pictures? Were you watching videos?
A mix of both.
A mix of both? Okay. And what site do you normally use?
The XNXX.
XNXX. And that's all it's called? You just...
I ain't gonna lie, I don't really care about hearing them talk about this. Let me know what y'all think about this. Subscribe if you're new. Other than that, I'm gone. I'm finna catch y'all. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. No care.